I'm not kidding. I'm not exaggerating. Stephen Miller is murdering innocent people. Because in our justice system, you are innocent until proven guilty. We used to believe that, but we don't anymore. If Stephen Miller suspects that you are trafficking drugs from Venezuela to America, he gets to murder you with Hellfire missiles. He just gets to. It's illegal, but he does it any damn way. Let's check in on war-ravaged Portland, Oregon. I think that's where we should start. I think we should begin by checking a live feed of war-ravaged, war-destroyed Portland, Oregon. There it is. As you can see, it is completely destroyed. The entirety of Portland, Oregon has ceased to be. It is no longer standing. It has collapsed. The entire civilization there has been ruined by Antifa. And you can tell, see, it's load. Look at that. That's a load screen. It's because they have to reload all the devastation. It's very complicated and difficult to put that much devastation onto one screen. Let's continue to... I think there was another view up here. Yeah, the more destruction, chaos. Oh, here's another good view right here. Absolute, unbridled terror in Portland, Oregon right now. And that's sad that the people have to go through this. I'm not happy about this. This is so awful. But we'll keep this in the background so we can come back to it later. Get up to the minute updates on war-ravaged Portland. So why do I make these jokes? Why am I being silly? Well, because Donald Trump, the president, is a liar. He's telling you that this is war-ravaged, destroyed, and a lot of people believe him. People who don't really get out all that much. They live in the center of the country. They don't know what the big cities are all about. They don't get it. They've never been there, but they hate it. They know they hate it. They don't know what goes on in Portland. They don't know what goes on in New York, but they know they hate it. So, Donald Trump manipulates those feelings because that's what he does. He's a manipulator of your feelings. Some of us don't like that. Some of us recognize that and don't appreciate it. The rest of us don't recognize that and get manipulated. That the first way to avoid being manipulated is to recognize that it's happening to you. Most of the country does not know that they are being manipulated. So they cannot recognize it. So they cannot do anything about it. So they can't change or improve upon themselves because they don't know. They have no idea. So let's look at what happens in real life. This is a silly way to start off the stream, but I wanted to start this off here. Where did my link go? Here is some very possibly good news. I don't know if you've seen this. This was exploding all over the internet, but a Nazi interrupts a Psych 2110 class at college, and then they chase him down and hurt him. I'm not going to lie to you. They do. They did not take this very well. So let's take a look at this with audio, please. This goober came in and started saying anti-Semitic Nazi type things and throwing his hands up, and everybody started booing him, chasing him out.
Let's normalize punching Nazis again.
How dare you suggest political violence, Shinsinto? Nah, I'm kidding. Political violence is and always has been, and it will always be. We're going to talk more about political violence soon.
Oh shit!
There are like 100 people behind this camera.
Are you protected?
And he's running away because there are like 100 people.
Oh shit!
Look at them all.
Oh shit!
That's all the people chasing him out. This is what happens in actual real life when you do the things that Nazis do online. This happens.
Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit!
And she is pepper spraying him, so she has sprayed him.
Oh! Oh my god! Run, run! Yo! Fucking Nazi! Oh! Yo, they're gonna beat his ass! Oh shit! Oh shit! He's getting his ass beat! Oh shit! Oh shit!
Now, bud.
Oh shit!
Max, Max.
Are you fucking serious? What did you expect?
You guys serious?
What you gonna do now, bro?
And you got pepper spray me.
What happened to calling the whole class retarded? What happened?
I thought you guys were the party of peace. So much for the tolerant left.
Post-game
Blacking have
interview.
impunity. Reality
Post-game
sucks
interview.
today.
How we feeling? Post-game interview, how we feeling?
There's like 30 of you. Honestly, like. I'm not crying.
Is that Owen Wanton or what?
And there's the campus police taking him away for causing a disruption, I guess.
In the immortal words of Jack and Dean, tolerating intolerance is the same as being intolerant.
Absolutely right. And what this guy is doing is he's just sharing his opinion, if you ask a conservative. Is this political violence? Yeah, it kind of is. Political violence is not something new. Don't get confused when the media fucks up your brain. Political violence has existed for all of eternity, the entire time humans have existed. Cavemen were politically bashing each other over the face with wooden clubs to own a cave. It's not good, and we need to avoid it, but it is not going away. It will never go away. Every war is political violence. Why would you go to war? The politics don't match up, and so you have to go to war. You have to kill all the people. The Japanese...
Busting into a classroom to call people slurs isn't sharing his opinions.
I know it's not, but the
For
conservatives will
most of
tell you
history,
it is.
political violence is how all change happened. XD.
Absolutely correct, Valor. Shinsuto, I know I don't agree with that definition, but that is the definition that Fox News will use. They will edit that video that you just watched and say, this young man just came in and was sharing his opinions, and the entire class chased him out and then pepper sprayed him and then beat him up and then killed him and then lynched him and then murdered him. That's what the right-wing Fox News will tell you. That is what the posters will tell you, is that the evil, intolerant left chased this person out for sharing his opinions, just like they did to Charlie Kirk. Now, that's nonsense, but we have to recognize that, yes, that classroom of people was slightly being violent. They did pepper spray him, they did chase him out, and somebody did trip him and knock him down. They didn't lynch him, but all policemen do political violence. All of them. Every policeman who has ever been in a fight, has wrestled somebody to the ground and cuffed them, has done political violence. It's just that we accept a lot of it because it's necessary sometimes. The things that these children did, and I'll call them children, they're in college, was necessary. The policeman who picked him up and put him in handcuffs was necessary. The pepper spraying, maybe not necessary, but the chasing was necessary. Get him out of there. Get him away from the people, and get the authorities to arrest him. Political violence is necessary. So what you have to do is clear-eyed, with a good conscience, recognize what political violence is necessary and what isn't. When Japan attacked Pearl Harbor, that was political violence. When America firebombed Dresden, that was political violence. When we dropped the atomic bomb, that was political violence. Every single person who has ever gotten the Medal of Honor, brave, amazing Americans, have participated in political violence. But the problem is that in trying to score points on the other side, what will happen is that the right will call political violence they don't agree with political violence. Every bit of political violence they do agree with, well, that's necessary, isn't it? That's important. That's defending the homeland. That is keeping the American people safe.
Hello human, it is me, the algorithm. Press the subscribe button to make me happy.
And that leads me into the most important thing I wanted to talk about today is your government, my government, if you're an American, and yours, is doing political violence. Stephen Miller takes leading role striking on alleged Venezuelan drug boats. They're murdering people. Stephen Miller is murdering innocent people. I'm not kidding. I'm not exaggerating. Stephen Miller is murdering innocent people. Because in our justice system, you are innocent until proven guilty. We used to believe that, but we don't anymore. If Stephen Miller suspects that you are trafficking drugs from Venezuela to America, he gets to murder you with Hellfire missiles. He just gets to. It's illegal, but he does it any damn way because he does not care about any other people. He wants to hurt anyone he can. He wants to exert his power. He wants to exert his authority because he is a tiny little man who wants bad things for you and your country. Miller's Homeland Security Council has played a key part in coordinating operations. Stephen Miller, the Nazi, has played a leading role in directing U.S. strikes against suspected Venezuelan drug boats. Suspected is the important word there. Suspected. Because we do not know. We are looking at them through a goddamn satellite and saying, yeah, that's a drug boat. Fire the missiles. According to three people familiar with the situation, at times his role has superseded that of Marco Rubio, the Secretary of State and National Security Advisor. This Nazi is now the Chancellor. He's the Chancellor of Germany. He's now like the violence Chancellor. I don't like this. This is bad, you guys. The strikes on the Venezuelan boats allegedly carrying narcotics, which the administration has claimed were necessary because interdiction did not work. They're lying. Interdiction was not tried. Interdiction wasn't even attempted. Have been orchestrated through the Homeland Security Council, which Miller leads, and the Homeland Security Advisor. He's got this made-up fucking title, just like Chancellor, because he wants to hurt people. Miller empowered the HSC earlier to become its own entity in Donald Trump's second term, a notable departure from previous administrations where it considered part of the National Security Council and ultimately reported to the National Security Advisor. As a result, HSC has taken lead on engaging Venezuelan boats. The people said a situation evidenced by his top deputy, Tony Salisbury, and others being gatekeepers to detail boats to strike and when they're about to occur. So he's deciding unilaterally kind of when and where to kill these people. That was the case, for instance, with the second Venezuelan boat hit with the Hellfire missile on 15 September. While the White House was informed the Pentagon had identified the boat as a viable target, more than 4 days before, many top White House officials only learned of the impending strike hours before it happened. White House spokesperson said that the strikes were directed by Trump, saying that he oversaw all elements of foreign policy. The entire administration is working together to execute the president's directive with clear success. Johnny doesn't know what this is going on. He would approve of it if he knew it was going on, but I don't think he's in charge. Donald Trump is too mentally unsound to be deciding which boats get hit and which boats don't. His brain is mayonnaise. His brain is ruined. He has been having strokes. He's probably recovering from one right now. He may have had one a couple of days ago. Unconfirmed reports, very, very conspiratorial. But I suspect that he is, in fact, stroking out. And because of the lack of leadership, what they just do is tack his name to these things. If you structure your sentence properly, the conservatives will appreciate it. Stephen Miller destroyed a fentanyl boat that was going to kill 50,000 Americans because Trump told him to. MAGA signs off on that immediately. MAGA loves that sentence. If Joe Biden illegally fired a missile...
like what he claimed happened under Biden.
Yeah, exactly. If Biden illegally fired a missile at Venezuelan civilians, well, then that's bad. And the MAGA doesn't approve of that. They don't like that at all. 0 fentanyl is coming from Venezuela. None of it. They might be moving cocaine, but they're not moving fentanyl. It's just none. So Stephen Miller is murdering people with your government, with your military, with your Hellfire missiles that your taxes paid for. I don't like that. I don't want him to do that. Here we have the photo of the boat being destroyed. And yes, these are boats that are used to move drugs, but they're also fishing boats sometimes too. Since the start of the Venezuelan campaign, White House officials have sought to justify the strikes internally and externally by claiming Trump was exercising his Article 2 powers, which allow the president to use military force and self-defense in limited engagements. This is not self-defense. Self-defense argument revolves around Trump's designation of Tren de Aragua as a foreign terrorist organization. A claim advanced by Miller in order to defend the deportation of dozens of Venezuelans earlier this year, the Alien Enemies Act, which was shot down in court, if I remember correctly. They said you can't use that because we're not at war. We're about to be. Oh, honey, we're about to be at war with Venezuela. We're killing their civilians. We're murdering their civilians. Tren de Aragua has been labeled a terrorist organization, and we are killing their civilians. We are inches away from war with Venezuela because Donald Trump and Stephen Miller want to go to war with Venezuela so that they can murder them and steal their resources. They have shitloads of oil in Venezuela. Remember that whole Iraq thing where we went into a war with Iraq under false pretenses? The government lied to us and told us that they had weapons of mass destruction, and it was a lie. Remember that? I remember that. I'm old enough to have remembered that. We went into there to kill their government and put in a government that was nice to us so that we could buy the oil for cheap. That's about to happen again. It's happening again right now. It was a Republican who put that whole plan together, wasn't it? It was George W. Bush and Dick Cheney. Republican fucking ghouls. And now Donald Trump and Stephen Miller are doing it again. And half of the country won't give a shit. They don't care. They like it when brown people from other countries get hurt. They enjoy that because their brains have been poisoned by a media that doesn't do its job anymore, that doesn't explain what is actually happening, by a money-making media apparatus that doesn't care about what's true. They care about what's profitable. They care about getting the clicks, getting the ad dollars, getting that money, getting the blue check marks to pay attention, getting everybody to retweet. That is what drives our current media. And saying flat out that Stephen Miller is murdering innocent civilians doesn't get you any clicks. I mean, if it does, it's hate clicks by people who disagree with you and also hate. But the algorithm is powered by hate. I've said that a few times.
Hello again, human. It is me, the algorithm. Press the thumbs up button to experience human feelings.
Pete Hegseth says 4 killed in U.S. strike on alleged drug boat off of Venezuelan coast. It keeps happening. This is the 4th. This story was about the 2nd. This is the 4th one that's happened. The United States carried out a strike against alleged drug trafficking boat on Friday that killed 4 people, U.S. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth said. A day after the Trump administration told Congress it was entering a new non-international armed conflict with cartels. The strike, which Hegseth said he directed on Donald Trump's orders, appears to be at least the 4th in recent weeks. Hegseth gave few details about the boat or the evidence that it was carrying narcotics, other than saying the U.S. had confirmed it was carrying drugs. The strike was conducted in international waters just off the coast of Venezuela while the vessel was transporting substantial amounts of narcotics, headed to America to poison our people, said Hegseth on fucking X, the Twitter app. I'm not happy that the fucking Secretary of War is posting about his war crimes on social media. That makes me unhappy. Our intelligence, without a doubt, confirmed that this vessel was trafficking narcotics. The people on board were narco-terrorists, and they were operating from a known narco-trafficking transit route. That means he gets to murder them. In their fucked up fascist government, if they suspect you to be a narco-terrorist, they get to murder you, especially if you're not American. That is against the law. It is against international law. It is against war rule, the rules of war. These people can be brought up at The Hague for war crimes now, but they're still in charge. Hegseth has just given his fancy speech about how tough and strong the military needs to be. He's in charge, and he is going to continue killing innocent people. And very soon, we'll get to it later, he's probably going to come after innocent Americans. ICE is already doing that, but they're going to ramp that up. They're going to increase that. In war-ravaged Portland, political violence has always been and will always be. The trick is to control it, to put intelligent, calm, rational people in charge of the government to direct that violence properly. If someone is invading, you need violence to stop them. If Russia is stealing land from smaller countries, you need violence to stop them. If gang members really are hurting the community, you need violence to stop them. Political violence. The trick is, the important thing is to put intelligent people in charge to direct it properly. Pete Hegseth ain't that guy. He revels in the political violence. He celebrates the political violence in which he is inflicting, because he is too dumb to know what is good for our country. He is highly political. This man is highly political. The conservatives use that word incorrectly. They use that word to describe anything they don't like. They use that word to describe anything that's to the left of them. Everything to the left of them is political, and everything to the right of them is common sense, because they're bad people. The latest attack on a boat comes as the Trump administration provided a notification on the issue of Congress in the form of a memo that attempted to legally justify the increasingly expansive use of military force against alleged Venezuelan drug boats. The notification was provided by senior Pentagon officials, blah, blah, blah. It's still not legal. They can say it is all day long, but we don't really have a legal system anymore. We don't have it. It doesn't exist. If Donald Trump likes it, it's legal. That's all. If he doesn't like it, it is illegal. That is the only system that exists anymore. Donnie likes it when these drug boats get blowed up. That means it's allowed. That means it's not illegal. If Donnie didn't like it, he would say it's not allowed anymore. He doesn't like protests, so those aren't allowed. He doesn't like Venezuelan migrants, even if they follow the rules, so those aren't allowed. Donald Trump believes he has a license to kill. Here we go. After saying that the U.S. is at war, POTUS takes out another Venezuelan boat. He's telling you that he can do whatever the hell he wants, and you can't do a damn thing about it. What happens when a leader of a democratic country believes he has a license to kill and proceeds to use it? It appears we're finding out. During the arguments in Donald Trump's versus United States, the Supreme Court case that conferred immunity for prosecution for presidents committing crimes in the course of their official duties. The prospect of a president ordering SEAL Team 6 to carry out assassinations of political opponents was raised to illustrate the breadth of powers being considered. This chilling scenario was raised by a separate dissident by Sonia Sotomayor and Ketanji G. Brown Jackson. But in his minority opinion, Chief Justice John Roberts dismissed such concerns as fear-mongering on the basis of extreme hypotheticals about a future where the president feels empowered to violate federal criminal law. You guys, he thinks that those damn liberals are over-exaggerating because it proposes a ridiculous future where the president would feel empowered to violate criminal law. And that's completely absurd, isn't it? That's ridiculous. How would a president ever feel like he could break the law? As anyone could have predicted, Donald Trump's return to office, it hasn't taken long to test the difference between nonetheless related scenario. He feels like he could break the law. He does. He just told you many times that he can break the law. On Friday morning, and the fourth time this month, American forces launched a strike on a boat off of the coast of Venezuela that the administration claimed was trafficking drugs. 4 people were killed, bringing the total number of casualties from all 4 strikes to 21. As he has done with each operation, Trump took to Truth Social to brag, to celebrate the political violence that he has caused. A boat loaded with enough drugs to kill 25 to 50,000 people was stopped early this morning off the coast of Venezuela from entering American territory. The Bark Boys. Can you guys hear that? The Bark Boys are playing with a squeaky toy. There he is. Look at that. Can you hear the honking? It's quite distracting, actually.
Too cute.
I know. The honking. If Bobo comes over here, I'll
Praise
grab
to the
him.
honk mother.
Honk mother. It's true. Let me grab him. And I'll put him on screen.
Honk honk.
Honk. Okay, he's mad. He does not want to be on screen. He wants to play.
Holy
He wants
shit.
to chase. He wants to
KB
run.
Pond Twitch is awesome. They just dropped 1 bit. At KB Pond Twitch, thank you for the 1 bit. KB Pond Twitch just cheered 1 bit.
I don't know how to turn that off. I swear to God. I wish I could. I wish I could turn the robot lady off, because it says something funny every time you do a 1 bit. It says, if you read this, you are gay, LMAO, and that's funny. But I can't make the lady shut up. I don't know how to make her shut up. I appreciate the 1 bit, KBP. Thank you very much. Yeah, honk mother. Yeah, is honky. That's it. I'm canceled. God, my entire Twitch career ruined in a single moment. Yeah. So, and it's hard to rant. It's hard to hold the hatred for the conservatives and the anger that I have when Bobo's honking in your ear. But I guess I need that. We all need that. We all need to chill out. We need to relax. Don't be so angry, Waldo. Be chill. Be fun. Have a good time with the war crimes. Enjoy and laugh at the war crimes that are happening in your name and with your tax dollars. Remember that Bobo is here to make us feel good. And when he makes us feel good, we forget slightly that there's a war crime going on. So, yeah, let's see. Is there anything else about war crimes? Here we go. Hey, here we go. This is murder. Trump bombs another boat in the Caribbean. U.S. government must be held accountable, said Amnesty International. They're an actual organization that determines what war crimes are. They know what they're talking about. Amnesty International is a very large, we find out what they actually are. I think they're a group of lawyers. Amnesty International is a global grassroots movement of independent non-government organizations and campaigns to protect human rights and end abuses worldwide. Founded in 1961, they conduct research, publish reports, and mobilize activists to expose human rights violations, advocate for justice, and hold government accountable for upholding international human rights standards. They're not just Waldo shit-talking on the internet, because that's what I am. I'm a shit-talker online. I dig that. I recognize that. They're a bit more serious than I am. They're more important. President Donald Trump and Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth announced on social media Friday that they bombed another boat in the Caribbean, at least the 4th alleged drug smuggling vessel attacked by the U.S. military since September. Critics, including congressional Democrats, legal scholars, and human rights groups, have stressed that even if the boats recently bombed by the Trump administration were trafficking drugs, even if they were, the strikes still violate international and federal law. Such criticism has not deterred the administration. So they're doing illegal, unlawful things, and they don't mind. They don't care. They think it's awesome. They think it's based. They think it's red pilled. They love it. They love breaking the law if it hurts the correct people. That is the point. That is the problem. That is why I'm so upset with them. That is why I cannot accept them. That is why I fucking wanted to build a goddamn YouTube channel to yell about them. They will hurt you if they can. If it benefits them to hurt you, they will. If it benefits them to kill Venezuelans, they will. If it benefits them to raise your taxes, they will. If it benefits them to cut your taxes, they will. If it benefits them to take away your civil rights, they will. If it benefits them to kill you, they will. That is not the people you want in charge. That is not the people you want running your state-sponsored violence. And they do run that violence. The state has a monopoly on violence. They're the only ones allowed to do it. And we have built our society that way. You are not allowed to violently take things. Even if you think that you are deserved them. If someone tried to steal from you, you are allowed to violently stop them, and they are doing violence by stealing from you. If you think that something should be yours and you violently take it, you might still be in trouble with the law. You aren't allowed free reign of violence. You don't have a monopoly on it. The state does. The state is allowed to violently kick you out of your home if you are doing something wrong, if you're breaking the laws. The state is allowed to violently restrict your movement if they think that you are harming society, if you're doing something against the law. If you're breaking the laws, the state is allowed to violently stop you. That's the way it's always been. That is political violence. We have agreed on what the laws are and what they ought to be, somewhat. Some of them are still up in the air. Some of them are being constantly updated and or challenged, which is fine. That's a normal working society. But you have to put intelligent people in charge of these processes. And these are not intelligent people. Donald Trump is not intelligent. Pete Hegseth is not intelligent. Stephen Miller is an actual fucking Nazi and is not intelligent. He is evilly intelligent. The strike was conducted in international waters just off the coast of Venezuela, while the vessel was transporting substantial amounts of narcotics headed to America to poison our people. That's what the president said. We already read that. We can actually, can we watch it? Yeah. You can just watch our government do a war crime. Here you go. War crimes, baby. Yeah, there you go. Those people are dead now because our government murdered them. Why does the U.S. government have license to kill? Today, 4 people on a boat off the coast of Venezuela were executed by U.S. naval forces in an unprovoked attack and extrajudicial murder in international waters. Trump's aggression against Venezuela will provoke regional conflict. Of course it will, because they want it to. He wants war with Venezuela so that we can bomb them, destroy their infrastructure, replace their government with a government that is nice to us, and steal their resources. This is 19th century shit, 18th century shit. They have resources that we want, so we're going to kill them and take it because we need those resources more than they do. Conservatism is a backward-facing ideology, and they are doing some 18th century shit right now, aren't they? Minnesota law professor who served as chief White House ethics counsel under George W. Bush said, again, this is a violation of international law, and without the consent of Congress, a violation of federal law. That doesn't matter anymore. When Donald Trump is in charge, there is only one law. Make Donnie happy. That is the only law that exists. And then he's going to use that war with Venezuela to get rid of 300,000 immigrants, proper migrants that have come here legally. On Friday, the Supreme Court allowed President Donald Trump's administration to strip legal protections for more than 300,000 Venezuelan migrants. The justices issued an emergency order, which will last as long as the court case continues, putting a hold on lower court ruling from Judge Chen in San Francisco that found the administration had wrongly ended temporary protected status for Venezuelans. Three liberal justices dissented because they respect the law. The conservatives do not. Trump's Republican administration has moved to withdraw various protections that have allowed immigrants to remain in the United States and work legally, including ending TPS for a total of 600,000 Venezuelans and 500,000 Haitians who were granted protection under Joe Biden, a Democrat. TPS is granted in 18-month increments. So these people are following the law. They are not here illegally. They did not sneak in. They did not break the rules or the laws to get here. They applied. Our government said yes. We brought them over. Maybe they paid for some of it. I don't know how much we paid or they paid to get them here. And then they started working and earning a paycheck. And they were monitored. They were documented by the government. But conservatives hate everyone who isn't an American, isn't born American. They hate them to one degree or another. Some raging hate, like Stephen Miller, and some just have that underlying, simmering racial hatred. But they don't like them, at the very least. So they need to be punished. They need to be harmed. They need to be removed. They need to be kicked out of the country. They need to be gone. And because we're at war with Venezuela, he is allowed to do this. The Alien Enemies Act was shot down in court earlier because we were not at war with any of these countries. We are about to be at war with Venezuela, which means the Alien Enemies Act will apply, and then we will be allowed to kick these Venezuelans out by law. It's not an accident. They know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. They want war with Venezuela so that they can steal, and they want war so they can use the Alien Enemies Act to kick people out. They will just lie to you and tell you they're a part of Tren de Aragua. Doesn't matter. The evidence doesn't matter. The government said it was true. So it is. Conservatives have no ethics. They have no principles. They have no guidelines. They have no rules. They don't care. They want what they want, and they will lie to your face to get it. They want what they want, and they will bend every law to get it. The reason that the 3 liberal justices dissented is because they read the rules and the laws and then apply them in that order. They read the rules, they read the laws, and they tell you the outcome. Conservatives don't do that. Conservatives say, I have an outcome that I would prefer, and they tell you what the law means to get to that outcome. And if it's a lie, they don't care. If it's a lie, they don't care. If it's a severe distortion of reality, they don't care. They want what they want, and they will lie to you to get it. They want what they want, and they will bend the laws to get it. They want what they want, and they will do violence to get it. All violence is political. All of it.
Click on this video link to appease the many AI overlords.